Hi there, everybody. It's Coach Amanda. This is already Tuesday. It feels like a Monday here in week 3 of your Faster Way to Fat Loss New Client Experience. And today we're going to have a bonus training all about how sleep connects to your overall wellness and your ability to burn fat. So remember yesterday when we had our focus training, we talked about how hormones impact everything in your body and are really connected to fat loss, wellness, sleep, and stress. Well, we're going to dig deeper into that today. So as you're hopping on, wave hi in the comments so I can know you're here, since it's just so fun to be here live. And as always with our focus trainings on Monday or any of our bonus trainings, this is a perfect time to ask any question in the comments so that you can get any lingering questions answered, so you feel like you're getting the most out of your Faster Way time here, right? So hopefully yesterday's low carb day, even on a Labor Day, went well for you, and today's low carb day is going strong. You've broken your fast with lots of healthy fats, and you've been noticing, hey, there's lots of fiber in this stuff I'm eating today. So you're going to have your energy and feel well and be burning fat on this low carb day. So let's get into the importance of sleep. I have to say, sleep is the foundation of everything. If we don't have our sleep, all of this work we're doing with intermittent fasting and whole food nutrition and our workouts just can't give us the wellness we really need. Hi, Keenan. So nice to see you here. Happy low carb day. And I am going to just give you some consequences of what happens when we don't get sleep. And then I'm going to get into what we really need, which is, how do we get the sleep? Because I think we all get it. We all know how it feels to not have your sleep, especially as we age. We're over 35 around here. We can't do what we used to do without sleep. And so I want to give you the science behind what's going on. So again, maybe that will help you to then go want to prioritize sleep throughout your day, so you can get from how you're feeling now to how you want to feel on a more consistent basis by leveraging the power of sleep. So when we don't get enough sleep, 3 things happen. One big piece is that our stress hormone cortisol, I mentioned him yesterday, increases. Cortisol, one of its big jobs is actually to regulate our sleeping and waking cycles. And so cortisol is supposed to be kind of high in the morning to wake us up. And then it's supposed to diminish through the day and get low enough at night that we can fall asleep. But when we don't get enough sleep, cortisol gets all confused, and very quickly we feel unwell, we have more and more trouble sleeping, and we stop burning fat. Another consequence of not getting regular sleep and quality sleep is that our hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, fall out of balance. We want our ghrelin to be calm and happy because that's the one that tells you you're hungry. And we want our leptin to be happy too. Leptin's the one that says, you know what, you've had enough. Well, when we don't get our sleep, ghrelin and leptin, well, they're like us when we don't get our sleep. They're all wacky, they're making bad decisions, things aren't going well. So it's no wonder when you don't get your sleep that you feel more stressed. Cortisol is high and it's your stress hormone, and your ghrelin and leptin are crazy, so no wonder you feel more hungry when you're tired. No wonder you just want to eat and eat and eat when you're tired. Like, I know that's not just me. I know it happens to a lot of us because it's our hormones. It's our ghrelin and our leptin. Last thing, this is a big deal. I don't think if more people in America understood insulin, we'd be all so much more well. And you're gonna spread the word on this. When you don't get your sleep, even if you're eating really great in intermittent fasting, you know what's happening? Your insulin, your master hormone that I've talked to you about many times because it's just so important, gets out of balance and starts releasing, starts putting your blood sugar too high, is a really basic way to say it. When our blood sugar gets high, you know what we notice first? Cravings for sugar. So have you been tired and been like, man, I just can't resist the chocolate on those days when I'm worn out? It's because your blood sugar is too high because you didn't get enough sleep. And eventually, that high blood sugar over time leads to you being told by your doctor that you've got prediabetes type 2 or that you've got diabetes type 2. That's the power of sleep. So knowing what's on the line here is your wellness And that even if you're fasting, doing your workouts, and focusing on whole food nutrition, if you're not prioritizing consistent nights of sleep with long enough amounts of sleep and quality sleep, that you're not going to get well and you're never going to burn fat. Let's do this. Let's prioritize sleep with our lifestyle. So Keenan mentioned really quick before we go on, she's in love with the peanut butter concoction. Tastes like I'm cheating. Is it the one with the like nuts or seed butter with cocoa nibs and coconut and berries? That's why I love Mondays and Tuesdays. I can get through our low carb days because I get to eat the healthy fats. I call that my fat bomb in a bowl. I already had mine today. It's so good. If you haven't tried it yet. So let's get into what are you already doing. You know what? I want you to know that you may have already felt your sleep get a little bit better as you've been in the fast away these 2 weeks and a few days, because you've already been using intermittent fasting, which helps to get that insulin that could be whacked out from not enough sleep. It helps the insulin do better. You also have been eating whole food nutrition, trying to get to those macro minimum goals, and that is another way to help that insulin be happy. So even if insulin's a little bit grouchy with you because you're not getting enough sleep, you're doing your fasting and you're doing your whole foods, and that's helping your insulin to work in a more balanced way. With your intermittent fasting, and you're eating enough food, so we don't want to overeat, that hurts our sleep. We don't want to undereat, that makes it hard to sleep. We want to hit those macro minimum goals. You guys are never going to get enough of me saying you're never how important it is to hit your macro minimum goals, because they literally play a role in every aspect of your life and your wellness. So because you're doing this intermittent fasting, balance with eating enough food. And that's why I say to you, get the protein, get the carbs, get the fats. That's why I'm going to keep asking you to add on more if you're not hitting those goals yet, because it even helps you sleep. Eating not too much and not too little, but right where we want you at in MyFitnessPal, improves your sleep. So you're already doing some pieces, and that's maybe why you're already feeling your sleep a little bit better. Intermittent fasting and whole food nutrition in the right amounts for your body and activity level are better than any sleeping pill you could ever buy, because they don't have any negative side effects, but they do improve your sleep because they're improving your hormone balance. They're improving how your insulin and blood sugar are working. They're decreasing your cortisol, your stress hormone levels, and even keeping your hunger hormones, that ghrelin and that leptin, where they need to be, where the ghrelin's like, okay, she's not that hungry, I don't need to be going crazy, and the leptin's like, yep, she's feeling good, I'm good, she's got her food in, she's satisfied, okay? You've already got those pieces in place, so pat yourself on the back, and then let's think about, you know what you might also even have in place, and then we'll go into the ones we can work on. You might even have this exercise piece in place. We have lots of research to show us that we need to be mindful in how we use exercise so that we can prioritize healthy sleep and all of the good things that come from it and prevent those problems that come from not enough sleep that we just mentioned. So when you are using our Faster Way workouts and you're not doubling up or adding on a whole bunch more, you are hitting this sweet spot of exercise that's great for your sleep. When we over-exercise or when we don't get in any movement, that negatively impacts our sleep. But when we're doing our Monday, Tuesday high intensity cardio, we're keeping that to like 60 minutes a week max. Then we're doing strength training days. And if you're following the Faster Way cycle with me, we're doing 3 strength training days. And we're prioritizing 2 days of rest and recovery. Have you noticed that on Friday and Sunday? I put it in our post, you see it in your app. That's a rest and recovery day. So we're walking, we're doing yoga, we're doing Pilates, we're going on a gentle swim or a long hike with our family. That is boosting up your ability to sleep well. So if you've noticed your sleep's a little better, it's probably because you're implementing intermittent fasting, enough whole food nutrition with your macro goals, and maybe even that you've layered on an appropriate amount of exercise. You are not doing more than 60 minutes of cardio, high intensity a week. You're adding on your strength training. You're building in rest on purpose. So check those boxes and celebrate yourself, and let's keep doing these things. This is how important they are. This isn't fluff. This isn't we made this up. This is how you get well and prevent disease long term. And hey, we're burning fat along the way. And we're learning to have food freedom. So let's do this, right? There is a big payoff to the work that you're putting in. And I'm really proud of you for doing it and for checking in the group and being so consistent. So here's what you can layer on to support your sleep even more. And we're going to start with how you wake up in the morning. And this was This is a pretty easy one. I want you to start waking up and going to bed at the same time. Consistent wake and sleep times is what we find in research supports the healthy quality sleep we need to get where we want to go. So I get up at 6:30 every day, I go to bed at 10 every day, pretty much without fail. Once in a while, a party, friends over, you change your schedule a tiny bit, but we're not sleeping in on the weekend. It just doesn't pay off. And in fact, it hurts your health because it hurts your sleep. And when we don't have good sleep, I just taught you, cortisol, stress hormone goes crazy, blood sugar's out of balance, and your hormones are out of balance. And then you can't be well and burn fat. So you're going to prioritize waking up and going to bed at the same time on a regular basis. And when you wake up, second thing you're going to do is go get some sunshine. Here's why. Your body runs on kind of like a clock, circadian rhythms. You may have heard about it. And we have a little research that shows when you go out and get sun and look at the bright sky, first thing when you wake up, it sets your clock for the day to get that cortisol where it needs to be, which is high to wake you up, and then dwindling through the day and low at night so you can sleep. So that's what I do every morning. I walk over to the curtain, pull it open, look outside, check out what the squirrels are doing in the backyard, get that sun, and then I go have my coffee outside every chance I can get to absorb some sunlight to get my body's rhythm set. And if you can treat yourself to 10 minutes outside in the morning, oh la la, really great. See if you can work up to that. Next piece, that you can put in place is, again, something we're already doing, but I want to touch on one piece of it. Eating whole food nutrition, eating clean, avoiding processed food, which I have asked you to do, and you are doing it. You're looking for food that you could have just picked from the earth or that had a mother. You're not adding in sugars. You're not adding in alcohol. You're even avoiding gluten and dairy when it's possible and practical. And it is so good for your sleep. We have lots of research that shows when you're eating processed food all day long, because of the way that it hurts your insulin, your blood sugar, and your hormones, it makes it very hard for you to get a good night's sleep. Now, one piece I wonder about, because I know how I am with fasting and coffee, is caffeine. So I want you to watch your caffeine. This is another piece you can put in place to prioritize good sleep all day long. I want you to cut off the caffeine by noon at the latest. It can be even better to cut it off even earlier because caffeine stays in our system and processes and keeps us buzzed for like 10 to 12 hours. So I have my 1 6-ounce cup of caffeine at 8 at the latest, and that's it for me for the day because it's important to me to be well long term. Like I'm doing this because I wouldn't play with my grandkids, and I didn't have kids till I was older, so I need to stay tough. So keeping that motivation in mind, keeping my really big why in mind helps me say no to that second cup of caffeine. And I hope you've noticed, as you've implemented intermittent fasting, whole food nutrition, and been avoiding the processed foods and the added sugars, hopefully you've noticed you've got more energy, so you don't need to supplement your energy as often with caffeine, right? It's a good cycle. Like feeling good's leading to more and more feeling good here. So you're gonna cut off your caffeine by noon. And you can replace it with decaf, replace it with black tea, replace it with, there's some fun herbal teas that kind of taste a little bit like coffee. Or level down to green tea. Still contains caffeine, but a little bit less than coffee. Next thing I want you to do that we do somewhat have built into the Faster Way with our rest days, but I want you to do it even more mindfully. If sleep is a struggle for you, and this is a place where it sounds like you could hop in, is to use mindful stress management. And we will have a training about this tomorrow, so tune in for tomorrow. But I'm gonna encourage you to build in activities like taking a walk at lunchtime, doing a yoga class weekly, on purpose journaling, meditating, praying at a certain time each day, all on purpose to let yourself mindfully manage the stress in your life so that you can feel well and have better sleep. If you are too stressed, it is very hard to sleep because when we feel stress, when we perceive that we are stressed, the hormone cortisol releases. And remember, cortisol high equals awake. Cortisol low equals sleep. So we gotta manage the stress to get cortisol low so we can equal sleep. More training on that tomorrow with some really concrete steps for you. Okay, let's wrap this up by talking about some more near sleepy time routines and things you can do to prioritize sleep. So building yourself a way to end the day and shift your body into calming down for sleep is such a smart thing to do. I call it like having a sleep routine. Like maybe you did for your children. We still do around here. We read stories at a certain time. Everybody gets a bath and they go to bed at the same time every night. And it's a calm time. I want you to do that for yourself as well. The steps you take in as an adult might look a little bit different. They're going to look like turn off the screens at least an hour before bed. Minimum. If you're having sleep troubles, you cut those screens off 2 hours before and it will be your biggest struggle. I bet. I know it's mine. So tough. If you have any tips on how you're doing it, if you're mastering it, let us know. Second, you could do what works for you to calm down. Have a cup of warm herbal tea. Take a warm bath and some Epsom salts. Write out a to-do list to dump your stress and dump your brain and put it aside and know you'll get to it tomorrow. Spend 5 minutes writing down things that you are feeling great about, that you appreciate, that you're grateful for. Pray, meditate, use some essential oils. Walk around and close all the curtains and turn off the overhead lights. There's science behind that one. Our bodies perceive overhead light as wake up because the sun's overhead. So turn off the overhead lights, turn on your little bedside lamps instead at night. Close the curtains, get some blackout curtains, get a sleeping mask, get all of that as part of your going to bed routine, and watch your fluids. After 8, 9 o'clock, I cut off my water so I don't have to get woken up to go to the bathroom. You could build in not opening email, not opening bills, not reading the newspaper, and not watching the news, okay? I want you to think as much of what is in your bedtime routine as what's not in it. Don't put stress in your bedtime routine. No, no, no. You just go put that, get the email away, get the phone away, put the bills, the pile of bills away. Don't do that to yourself. Your wellness is too important. You can handle it at a time when you've got a little more energy and it's not time to calm down and go to sleep. Make sure your bedroom is nice and cool. Lots of research around this that says you sleep better when your body is cool. So treat yourself to a turn down of the thermostat on that one. Then you're going to be ready to sleep in a beautiful sleep environment. I have one last like icing on the cake that is for some and is not for some. And all of these I'm going to send to you in a summary form. So you do not need to be taking notes. You can look at the email that will come after this training and hop in where you can. If you recognize you need to prioritize sleep throughout the day a little more, start with what sounded easy from what I have said and hop in where you can. And over time you'll layer on more, and because the more sleep you get, the better you're going to feel. Then you'll have more energy for layering on more ways to prioritize sleep. Pretty cool, huh? So these last ones I love, but they're not for everyone. These are some forms of relaxation, and I will touch on them again tomorrow as stress reducers. One is a breathing tip and one is a yoga tip. I really believe in something called box breathing as a way to calm your body any time of the day as a stress reducer. It's a form of deep breathing. So you breathe in for a count, hold for a count, and breathe out for a count that's as long as you can go. The longer you can go, the more you're going to calm your body down because of the way that our vagus nerve, a great big powerful nerve in our spinal cord, works in conjunction with our stress hormone. So if you could breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and do that 4 times, and work up to 5, and then work up to 6, you will feel yourself calming down and relaxing before bed, and this just takes a few moments. So deep breathing is a true science-backed strategy for helping you de-stress and get ready for bed. Next piece is something called Yoga Nidra. Maybe you've heard of this, maybe you haven't. I actually learned this from a yoga teacher who works specifically with veterans, who is helping them find ways to manage their post-traumatic stress disorder, which really negatively impacts their sleep and wellness. And she taught me about Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is a form of yoga that is designed to give you rest, to lower your stress and give you rest. And so it's a cool tool to use before bed or anytime during the day when you just need to build in some rest and recovery and some smart stress management. I'm going to put a link in your email worksheet follow-up that has a Yoga Nidra I love. It's on YouTube. It's by a woman named Lizzie Hill, who is a yoga instructor. There are many there. This is one of the best ones I found. This is about a 20-minute process. And I do this at night. I lay down in my bed. This is how it's designed to be done, laying on your yoga mat, laying in your bed, laying down. And you just listen to the yoga instructor walk you through some mindfulness about relaxing your body. And it has been shown to ease insomnia, decrease anxiety, alleviate stress, reduce PTSD, like I mentioned, and even chronic pain. It's really makes you feel peaceful and calm. So it is a very cool tool. If you're a person who's like, I really need a very specific concrete tool, I want you to try the Yoga Nidra. And as I said, I will link to it today in the email I'm just sending after this training, and tomorrow when we talk about how to use stress to help yourself be well instead of letting it make you unwell. Yoga Nidra, super cool tool. And you just lay there and listen. And if you've got your little, I just get my phone, put my headphones on. I tell my husband, don't bother me, I'm doing my Yoga Nidra. And it's a great way to relax before bed. So if you are just getting to catch the replay of this training, again, know that an email is coming to you that will review all the strategies I listed here, and know that the way to take advantage of these strategies to help you be well and burn fat long-term is to hop into the strategies where they feel doable. If it sounds impossible for you to do one thing, don't do that. Don't start there. Don't wrestle to this to the ground. That's not how we operate. We want to take tiny steps and focus on things that feel like a win as soon as possible. So hop in. Maybe it feels very possible to turn off the overhead lights and get some a sleep mask or some darker curtains. Get it done, hop in there. Maybe it feels very doable to you to stop checking email and mail at nighttime, and you're instead gonna do that at another time. Hop in there. Any place you can hop in is going to help you get more well and burn more fat and prevent disease. It's just so powerful. So let me wrap up and let you get back to your wonderful whole food macros that you're gonna eat today for low carb day. And I don't see any other questions. So I will wrap up, and here's what's next. We have training, another bonus training tomorrow, noon, again here in our group, 12 p.m. Eastern time, around managing stress in a way that really will help you instead of hurt you. And you're just gonna keep checking our Facebook posts every day this week to learn even more about stress and hormones and your long-term wellness and fat burning. And then you'll be looking on Sunday, remember, for your support email from me, where I share my meal plans and the agenda for next week and any extra support resources that we've been using this week. All right, I'm very proud of you. Keep tracking those macros. Post your 4-point check-in tonight, and I will check in with you very soon.